Hey guys, it's Pete. I'm back at 213 French Street. I want to give you guys an update. A lot has been done since you guys last saw. I think the last thing you saw was framing, and we've done quite a bit. So if you see behind me, we got all the brick done on the outside, all the siding done. Front, we did these board and batten panels in navy blue. They look awesome. And we did the storefront windows. So I'm gonna take you inside because we just passed insulation inspection. We have a sheetrock boom coming, and there's a lot to talk about here, so come on in. In the hallways, a couple of nuances. So number one, in commercial buildings, we have to put putty pads on all of these boxes that are in hallways. It's a fire code. In this area here, this is gonna be our fire alarm panel for the fire sprinklers. I'll take you into the first apartment. It's also much quieter in here now that we have insulation. The only tough part is we had to get rid of the dumpster because we have sheetrock getting boomed and there's a lot of trash in here. So once the sheetrock gets delivered this week, then we're gonna get a dumpster and get all the stuff out of here. So yeah, so this apartment, it's on the first floor. So this is a legit ADA apartment. So if you look on the sides here, you can see all the outlets are low, right? So in theory, if someone is in a wheelchair, they're able to easily plug into the outlets. Same thing for the bathroom. You don't need to walk in because it's too dark, but I'm just gonna stand here to show you, like it's a 36-inch wide door, right? Because like, again, like if you have a wheelchair. So yeah, so this is the studio apartment, but there's like lots of little nuances that come up. So for example, like we had to frame out another wall. Why? Because if you zoom down here, the plate of the steel stuck out a little bit further than this wall. So when they go to do sheetrock, it would be a problem, right? Also up here, you see this plywood box. This is a soffit for a fire sprinkler. I'm not crazy about why they couldn't put it in the truss. I think part of the problem was you can still kind of see like there's steel, right? So like the sprinkler obviously can't go through the steel. So that's kind of why we did that. Let me take you guys into the basement, show you some interesting stuff. Actually, this is one thing here I'd like to point out. So now this is a simple laundry box, right? It's not too complicated. However, this is an exterior wall. So I try at all times to avoid putting water lines on an exterior wall. Why? It increases the risk of freezing. So we put this stuff on an interior wall to mitigate that risk. So this is called a fire sprinkler riser. This is the riser for the fire sprinkler system. The water pipe comes in through here for the fire line. I'm not gonna pretend to be a subject matter expert about this stuff. I just think it's pretty cool to point out and show. Now over here, this is gonna be kind of like a utility room. So we're gonna have all of our water heaters in here. It's gonna be all electric water heaters. And the nice thing about electric water heaters is you don't need to vent them out. So some of them are gonna go here. On the opposite side of this wall is gonna be your washer dryer. And then we do have ductwork running in this whole basement. So this whole basement is actually heated, which is good because part of it is finished. You have storage rooms over here in the back. This is a laundry room area for people. The other thing is with this space is we're down low, it's a little wet. So like the design wasn't great, to be honest with you. We kept putting in sump pumps down here, and now actually we're just gonna throw in a French drain just to make sure there's no water down here. So this was like the last sump pump we just threw in, and I think we have a total of 4, or actually 5 that are down here. So all right, let me take you guys to the second floor. So we're here on the second floor. I do want to point out one cool thing. So, and I just learned this, but with commercial buildings, every apartment, when you're loading the sheetrock, the supply house wants to know the breakdown per apartment. And the installer also needs to know. So how do they know? They write it down the wood here on the apartment entrance. Sheetrock, 28 sheets of 4x12, 36 at 4x10. How awesome is that? I think that's brilliant. So let me take you inside. Every apartment has its own panel, which is great, okay? This is actually a cool thing to point out. There are these plywood walls in a couple of apartments. This is a shear wall. And the design idea behind it is to protect against like wind, earthquakes, things like that. So it's like extra strength. I mean, again, I'm not an engineer. At the end of the day, we're just following the plans, but I do think it's pretty cool. Let me show you this. I'm kind of proud of this. Like the insulation we had in between the studs here. I think this is great. And me and Mike love doing this. Like even though by code you don't have to do this, we insulate between each bay, all the wires, you see that? So in theory, it makes the building tighter. The second thing is, if you ever have bugs, mice, roaches, like they can't go anywhere. So they're very limited to one area, which I think is very important. Another detail that we did, I asked my HVAC installer to install all the PTAC units. Why? So we don't have a wind tunnel in all the windows, but then we also taped them because the sheetrockers, they could be a little sloppy, right? So like we want to protect these at the end of the day. Now, this is a little bit of like an ADA thing to know. You need blocking in all the bathrooms because it's for future use. If you ever need to install grab bars, the blocking is there. So we had to do that in every bathroom. Behind you over here, this is another shear wall that we had to do. Now, we're gonna put plywood over this. Sorry, we're gonna put sheetrock over this. Just following the design specs, and you know, I think it was pretty cool. Another thing we did, you can't see it anymore, but behind this wall is a roof drain. And I don't know how much it's really gonna help, but we threw some insulation in here to kind of muffle the sound a little bit, because when it's pouring out, you know, it sounds like somebody's taking a shower upstairs. I do want to zoom in on this for a minute. It's a little hard to see, but if you look at the lines, you see like the orange marks, the yellow marks. So what we do is we mark out each kitchen. See, like, let me show this for example. Right, so DW is dishwasher, sink, right? You see in blue, so it helps you visualize where things go. Green, there's an F for fan with an arrow pointing. And if you look up, there's the fan from the microwave, and it vents that way. So that really helps dummy-proof things. Same thing with the apartments. See at number 5, this is apartment 5 we're in right now. So we labeled everything. So this is another shear wall. Also, I know I point this out, but all of our plans now we laminate. So this was originally the one of the electrician's pages, right? And so what they did is they screwed it up here, right? And just like this is going to last the entirety of the job. If you don't laminate these, they almost look like toilet paper at the end of the job. Now, if you see the steps, this is called ram board. My brother Mike wanted to install this to protect the stairs, which I actually thought was a good idea. It's really helped a lot, even though people kick it. I think it's been really good. So like, this is another apartment. We also ran cable and internet in each apartment. And again, you see, oh, actually, this is great. Let me show you this. So this was kind of a learning moment. So we told our electrician we need fire-rated bath fans. He's like, no, all you gotta do is run like a hard pipe out the side of the building. Okay, no problem. We run the hard pipe, inspector comes in, he goes, why don't you have fire-rated bath fans? Failed. So I go to look up buying fire-rated bath fans. They were on back order for a month. We could not wait a month at this job. To make a long story short, I found a box that they sell. A firefighter in Minnesota designed it. And if you look up, it's this stainless steel box that goes over the bath fan. On the interior of the box is like a fire blanket, and you see how it's mounted. And then there's a white PVC pipe that connects to the bath fan. So if fire ever gets up there, it's not gonna spread throughout the truss joist or the ceiling joist or whatever's up there. So it's a really cool design. For sure, I had all the specs printed out for re-inspection, because for sure, I was like, the inspector's never gonna ever have seen this before. He walks right in, he's like, oh, you did the boxes. I was like, you seen that before? He's like, yeah, of course. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So anyway, that's like a great alternative if you can't find these fire-rated bath fans. And by the way, almost no one makes them anymore, and no one has them in stock. So future note to Pete and Mike, like if you're doing a job, you have to order these like a month or 2 out before you start electrical work. All these orange pipes, this is for your fire sprinklers, okay? Let me show you guys the roof. So I thought it'd be good to take you guys up on the roof. This big boy, this is a 10-ton condenser. We had to get a crane to lift this up onto the roof. We had to get a crane company, we had to put in permits, get police, all that good stuff. And the irony is, like, it took days to get all that stuff done, and then this was installed in like an hour. And the other cool thing on the roof, if you see these bumps, they're called crickets, because the roof is slanted inwards towards the middle. It's designed that way on purpose. So all the water kind of pools here, and then it hits these crickets. It's kind of a bump, and then it bumps, and then it drains to the lowest point, which is where these toppers are. And so you see it goes all throughout the roof. Now they still have to do a gutter over here on this little bump out. Look at this, unbelievable. This is a temporary cap right now for the exhaust that'll eventually go through here if this is rented out to a commercial space. But it looks pretty good. And we went with this is an EPDM roof. So most EPDM is black, TPO is white, but I learned that they also make EPDM in white, so that's why we went with it. And this is actually reminding me, I do want to buy these walking mats, because it's not good to just be walking on the roof. So they sell these walking mats, they're like, they basically have glue on the back. So like, we'll put a walking mat to get to here, we'll put a walking mat to get to there, and then there's another condenser for the hallways on the other side. We don't need to show you, and we'll put in a walking mat for that as well. All right guys, I'll show you a couple more things downstairs and then we'll wrap up. So I'm just gonna take you through the outside a little bit. So if you see behind me, we got all the sidewalks done, all the curb done that we needed to do. We had to call a little bit of an audible, and we actually have the roof drains coming out through the side here, but it works. We got the electrical panel over there, and I'm especially proud about this. This was all my design, okay? I had to go underground. The telephone pole's right there. It looks a hell of a lot cleaner. So the next video you guys see, we'll be connected, we'll have power. The other thing is the brick. And now I notice this more than ever, but like, there are so many different types of brick to choose from. This is one of the most popular ones. It kind of has like an older look to it. And believe it or not, the brick is from Georgia, and they actually take the brick and they throw it in these big barrels, and it gets tumbled and kind of like beat up a little bit. That way it has like more of a rustic look. Then in the driveway here, this all got, you know, filled with concrete. This is a concrete driveway. We had all the commercial doors installed. And then if you turn around, cameraman, you could show the retaining wall we put in, the fence we put in. Eventually a little bit of grass will go here. This is the walkway to go out front, and we had this pitched so the water runs away from the building out towards the front of the building. Overall, yeah, we've made a lot of progress. To date, we're about 65% done, and we're closing in on 9 months. Not bad. The sheetrock's getting delivered today, so in the next month we'll be sheetrocking, closing this place up. So my goal is basically to have a CO in April. So, and that will probably be the last video we send you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this update. I hope you've been enjoying following the progress that we've been sharing so far, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram. Give us a like if you're enjoying the content, and we'll see you on the next episode.